is Super TA channel. Welcome back to another episode of Teaching Assistant Training Program. It's my honor because today we are bringing to the show two special guests who have been teaching assistant with an incredible qualification and so many experience related to the job teaching assistant. I make sure that you can learn more special and useful information in various aspects from our guests. Now, welcome Miss Thuy and Miss Thuy Linh coming to the talk show. Yes. So once again, I would like to say thank you so much for your willingness to join with us today. Although I know both of you very well, but can you introduce again to our audience for more details of your identification?
Thank you so much to having me here today. I'm glad for this opportunity to introduce myself. As you all know, my name is Thuy, and I'm last year's sophomore student, and I have 2-year experience working as teaching assistant at Center for Foreign Languages at HAST and Harvey English Center. I'm really keen on this job, and happily I have received many positive assessments from my manager when I was still working.
Yes.
Hello everyone, thank you for being here today. Let me introduce a little bit about myself. My name is Nguyễn Thùy Linh and I am the classmate of Miss Thuy and Miss Phương Linh. I am the first year university student. And I very happy to say that I am a colleague of Miss Thu Thuy and I'm a teaching assistant at Center of Foreign Languages at Hanoi University of Science and Technology. And currently I am a teaching assistant at another English Center for Students. And I have to say that I am very enjoying this job.
Yeah, wonderful. I'm really admire you. And yeah, as you know, in current many English centers are increasingly launched to meet English learners' demands. This situation also creates an enormous opportunity for students majoring in English to have a job, particularly teaching assistant, and experience a professional education environment. However, there are some common problems teaching assistants frequently have to deal with and haven't found any appropriate solution for them. Today, we will discuss about several specific problems. First of all, let's listen to our guests sharing their experience when working as a teaching assistant. Are you ready?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, so to begin with, I would like to ask Miss Thuy about the chance of bringing you to this job. How did you know to apply for your job?
Well, by a chance, I saw the recruitment information on Yammer, our university's official channel. And I'm very interested in this job, so I decided to apply and fortunately, I passed the interview round and received this job.
Yes, and wow, then you become a teaching assistant as chance would have it. During the long working time, undoubtedly you have many experience to collaborate and support teachers as well as students. Can you give more information about this job and what is the most special impression when you start to work as teaching assistant, Miss Thuy Linh?
Yes, when being in this position, I am taking charge of the preparing learning materials for students, and I also assign and mark the homework for the students. This job brings for me a lot of impression, and I remember the first impression for this job is the high quality of professor who I am working with, and I have learned a lot of experience from her.
I'm glad to hear that. And so now I would like to ask both of you a question. If you have the choice, what 3 adjectives do you use to describe this job?
Well, 3 adjective to describe my job. I think they are active, flexible, and patient.
Yeah, wonderful. And so, Mr. Lin?
Well, for me, three adjectives to describe my job are interesting, challenging, and potential.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that. You certainly satisfied your manager as soon as you work there because of your enthusiasm and adaptability. I believe that. And now let's watch a brief clip Miss Ari sending her from York Education China about the daily life of a teaching assistant. Now let's get started.
Hello, I'm Iris. As a teaching assistant, my job is to help teachers to make sure the class can go smoothly. Sometimes when students feel confused or they don't understand what teacher says, I will help them to translate. And every day at each lesson, I will go through the lesson plan with teachers. Before teachers come to class, TAs will have a 15 minutes review time for students. It's the catch-up time. Teacher's office. It's our photo wall. It's the homework board, English at home. Students can pick up a paper and to do the homework at home. And this is the word about start of the month. Every month we will pick a student to be the start of the month. This was made by Tom and Bianca. They all wrote by students. They wrote down their favorite things about York. Harry, 10 years old. My favorite thing about York English is I like Mia and Bianca, his foreign teachers, Mia and Bianca. TAs will make phone calls to parents to tell them how their kids behave in class and give them feedback about their learning situations. Chanle is a beautiful and quiet city. It's close to the airport. It means you are very convenient to go outside for traveling. And it's close to the sea. If you like seafood, you must come to Chanle. And if you like hiking, you should come to Chanle. Welcome to Chanle.
Wow, it is actually intriguing, and I'm pretty sure you can see yourself with some similar activity in the video, right?
That's an interesting video. Well, it reminds me of the fun times working with my students. Hopefully, the COVID-19 pandemic will soon pass so that we can work directly at the center and have great memories when experiencing this position.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But I think anyone who begins a new job absolutely face some challenges, not except for you, right? So, what challenges or difficulties did you have to deal with when you initially became a teaching assistant?
Well, I remember the first time when I became a teaching assistant, I felt a bit nervous because I just had one day to prepare for my new job, while I didn't receive any training before my working.
I know that. So, how did you solve this problem effectively?
Yeah, luckily at that time I knew a senior who worked there a few months before me, and I asked her for advice and experience that make me feel more confident and can fulfill my job better.
Yeah, I believe that as a permanent teaching assistant is a good way to deal with the problem. And how about Miss Trilling? What's your challenges and how do you address it?
Well, it's interesting to share with you that my first difficulty is related to the teaching equipment. And the first day I come to this center, I come with Miss Three, and we feel very hard to connect the laptop with the monitor. So we had been there about 10 minutes, but did nothing. So we called for the help from the teacher. So we solved it effectively. And in the next time, we can deal with this problem easily.
I think in the first time, anyone easily to deal with the technical problems, right? Before moving to the next segment, everyone don't go anywhere because we will be back. Welcome back to the talk, and now we will continue to discuss some problems and questions left in comment box of the last video by the anonymous audience. And yeah, the first question I want to ask Mitri, one teaching assistant wonders that how would you respond if a child says she's bored with a task and doesn't want to finish it?
Well, in this situation, I think we should make a small talk with the student to identify exactly the problem with him or her. If it comes from misunderstanding of the lesson, I think we should give further tutorials for students, or in case that if he feels bored because of doing tasks individually, it should be better if we organize teamwork or pair work activities another time because as my experience, students tend to prefer working with their friends rather than doing tasks by themselves.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And so another question, Ms. Trilling, can you answer? In the context of pandemic, teaching assistants still work online via some media platforms such as Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Google Meet, or so on and so forth. However, there is a barrier of the interaction between teaching assistant and students during the working time, and that they can't observe and support students directly. So how do teaching assistants address this problem?
Well, in the context of COVID-19 pandemic, it is really challenging for online teaching in general. And teaching assistant also meet so many difficulties in terms of the interaction with the student. And I am a teaching assistant for two different groups. The first one is for the student. Regarding this group of children, I have made some rule at the very start of every lesson to make sure that they will interact with me all over the lesson, and at the end of every lesson, I will give them some prize on some platform like Class Dojo, so they will be given motivation to be interact with the teaching assistant and the teachers at next classroom. And the second group is for the university students, and they are they are not familiar with the gift or some rules, so it's very hard to interact with them. So I found I found the solution is that I create some group on social media like on Facebook or Zalo, so I can contact with them outside the class, and if they have any problem, they can ask me and I can have them address it. So if we have the good relationship with the students, we can interact with them on the class time effectively.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that social media is the closest approach to interact with students and build up the relationship between teaching assistant and students. Yeah. Now we will move the next questions. What skills have you learned during the working time as teaching assistant? Miss Thủy, can you answer?
Yeah, to be honest, teaching assistant bring me a lot of valuable skills like soft skills and especially managing class and some teaching skills that is very useful for my future job as becoming an English teacher.
Yes. So how about Miss Trilling? I think you also learn some skills and how helpful are these skills in your life and work?
Well, as Miss Thủy said before, this job brings for us so many skills, not only for our daily life, not only for my future occupation, but for my daily life. For example, I can get the characteristic of punctuality or patience. And I think it is very crucial for our development. And when working as teaching assistant, we can get a lot of experience to get ready for my future job. And we will become English teacher in the future. I have to say that.
Yes. So thank you. The last question, can you give some advice or motivations to our audience, especially new teaching assistant to work as a high quality teaching assistant? Can you answer? Can you give some advice?
Well, for some advice, I think that if you want to become a high quality teaching assistant, you have to contact with the professor and you can get a lot of experience from them. As you know, teachers are the people who work with so many teaching assistants, so they can give you the valuable advice how to have an effective job.
Yes. And how about Miss Thủy? Can you give some motivation to our audience?
Yes. For me, teaching assistant is not a difficult work, and it's also a well-paid job as compared to other part-time job, as well as it brings you a lot of valuable experience. So let's try it and do your utmost. You can do this job better.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you so much for your job sharings and crucial advice today. That's what we really want to say to you. Hope you guys can overcome all challenges in the job and in the future. I'm really appreciate for having you in the show, in the video. See you next time in the next episode.
Okay, thank you and goodbye.